Hello, brother. Today we're going to talk about what to do with your free time on self improvement. So, right at the start of self improvement, what you're trying to do is eliminate a lot of the bad habits and increase some of the good ones. So, your free time is still indulged with negative habits, video games, porn, scrolling, junk food, Netflix, I don't know, whatever it is for you, right? There's a bunch of them. So, soldiers still have beds, commandos sleep on the floor. Now, what do I mean by this metaphor I made? At the start, you still have some vices. You still have some things that aren't necessarily good for you. And when you're very, very, very advanced, do you have everything perfect, everything dialed in? You're 24 hours a day perfectly, all organized, all good habits, all productive. Like you have 11 hours of bed, you work out for 2 hours a day, you work for six on like a perfect project with full flow state. You don't play any video games, you don't do anything that you shouldn't be doing. You go outside every day, you do everything right. That's not going to happen at the start, right? Realistically, it took me years to go from the stage of playing video games for 10 hours a day and scrolling for five to now not scrolling, not playing video games, and having very, very, very few bad habits. It takes many years, and hopefully by the end of this video, I'll allow you to have all of my knowledge as concisely as I can possibly give it, that you can go through this transformation as quickly as possible. So, post show pack of donuts. So you've started, you still have quite a few bad habits, but you have your ambition of getting to that stage where everything is dialed in perfectly. Post show pack of donuts means if you've seen those reels, for example, where there's a bodybuilder and they're ripped, they look fantastic, and right after they finish a bodybuilding show, they treat themselves with a pack of 24 donuts. That's the wrong mentality for self improvement. The reason that's the wrong mentality is because you've just reverted your progress. So, say if you think to yourself, okay, today I'll meditate, I'll gratitude journal, I'll work out, I'll spend time outside, I'll work on my business or studies, I'll do all these good things, and then at the end of the day, I'll play video games till I sleep. Like, I'll finish my to do list, and then from the end of the to do list till sleep, I'll just fill it with video games. That's obviously the wrong mindset because now you're kind of reverting progress. Like, if imagine your days start around here and then you do a bunch of stuff and they're going up and up and up and up, and like you've made so much progress in a day, and then you spend the last 3 hours frying your dopamine receptors. It could literally be like a bad day overall, even though you completed all your to do list. Or even, it only ends up here. So, you go up to here and then you drop it to here, and you've made this much progress instead of this much. The thing is, though, at the start, it is very difficult, as I said, to eliminate this. So, what I'd say is instead of post show pack of donuts, eliminate the pack and just have a post show donut. So, if you're still quite early and you haven't been able to fully eliminate all your vices, which is very, very difficult to do, try to at least reduce it. Try to add a little bit more positive things in. So, what I did, for example, with this, for you to give you like a rational example, when I'd play video games, say I'd have a 2 hour gaming session, what I started to do was say, okay, before every match, I'll do a set of a workout. I started doing a set of a workout. It cut down, 10, 15 minutes from my playing time. And that increased the minutes of positive increase and the minutes of negative decreased. And then I thought, okay, before every time I play a match, I'll also meditate for 5 minutes. So then I had like a 5-10 minute block at the start of every gaming session and intervals in between where I do positive habits. And this has two benefits. One, obviously, it increases the good things, it decreases the bad time. Overall, positive equation, fantastic. But also, it gives your mind breaks. So, say this is a gaming session right here. You're going for hours and hours and hours. If every time you play a match you give yourself a cut and a cut and a cut and a cut and a cut, this here kind of gives your brain time to realize and snap out of the indulgence and complete like dissociation into the screen. It's the same reason why I use apps like Screens on my phone for when I was scrolling. Because if you start scrolling, you can notice after 30 minutes. But if every 2 minutes a screen blocker comes up, you have so many more intervals to realize I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling. And one of those, you're going to stop. Now, if you don't do this, it may be 2 hours in that you think, okay, now I have to stop, or it could be 2 minutes in. So that's all I'm saying is every little bit, try add in some positive habits. Don't eliminate it. Don't say, oh yeah, I'm not gonna do this because I can meditate. Instead, because it's very difficult. Because then your life is gonna, you're gonna have some good days and other bad days where you'll be gaming and then 10 minutes in you'll think, okay, now I have a 20-minute meditation session, and you'll just skip it. So I'll make it very easy at the start, like one set of exercises. Just do like 50 push-ups, 20 push-ups, whatever the difficulty till failure is for you, and then get back to it. This long term does increase, like you can add more sets, you can add more things like I did, and over time you can kind of completely eradicate your video game time. Or have it so low, which is going to get the end stage where it's like you play for like 20 minutes, but to play for that 20 minutes, you've done an extra hour's worth of work on top of your to do list, which overall is a benefit, right? That's worth it. Idle hands are the devil workshop. So, what I'm telling you here is okay, so now you're into self improvement, you've been doing it a while, you're cutting down your bad habits, you're trying to add blocks and like mental challenges to do. Well, then you'll be left bored sometimes. Like, this is the reason why I'm saying to not cut them out, because idle hands are the devil's workshop. If you think to yourself, okay, actually, from the time when I finish my to do list of sleep, I'll just, I'll sleep more. I will, I'll call that person, yeah. I'll maybe watch some YouTube videos that I don't really find entertaining. It's going to be way too boring for you. When you're still at a stage where those vices control a part of your mind, replacing them with more boring things isn't just not gonna make you want isn't just gonna make you want to play the game more, but it's also I'm just using video games as an example, right? But it's also going to make you want to do the work less. So in my view, it's better to be motivated by this good thing coming up and do so much more work and be so excited, rather than just think, yeah, I've got nothing exciting coming up, so I'm just gonna lay in bed and do nothing. Your brain needs that hunt. Dopamine is the hunting thing. It's like you're most excited when you're going to the cinema. You're not excited during the movie. You're excited when the movie is starting. You're excited when you're about to start a gaming session. That's when dopamine is at the highest. So you need to have, if you have an anticipation of something coming up, every time you do a work task, you get that extra bit of dopamine that you feel closer to it. Never allow yourself to just kind of be bored. Because being bored while you're still addicted to things is a one-way ticket to having a 4-hour gaming marathon when you weren't supposed to even play for 40 minutes. Next, positive habits. A few positive habits you can add. Back to my theory here of cutting your negative habits, trying to add good things instead. So say you do finish your to-do list and then have 3 hours till sleep or an hour till sleep. Don't game for an hour. Think, okay, I'll game for 30 minutes, but I'll do an extra 30 minutes of positive habits. What could these positive habits include? Meditation, gratitude journaling, extra working out, extra sleep, some journaling, calling someone, calling a loved one, learning a new skill, doing things like watching history channels on YouTube or something you find quite interesting, studying more, studying something extracurricular, starting a business, YouTube appointment setting, that's sales for people who don't know, copywriting, making your own software, your own video games, learning to code. No, I just listed like 15 things here that you could try, right? Oh, learning a different sort of sport, like you can get into stretching more, you can get into running, you can get into martial arts. All really fun things that if you do finish your to-do list, you'll think, okay, I have this much time, I'll try do positive habits for as much of it as I can. If you've worked all day and you have like a 10-hour timetable and you finish it, you woke up early, you took no breaks, you finished it from start to go, and then you have a few hours, just think, okay, I'll do more stuff for as long as I possibly can. And that just helps you get more work out of you because you know you have that reward coming up. And over time, this can just take more and more time. So say like at the start, if you have this 3-hour block per se, the start maybe you do 30 minutes of positive habits and 2.5 hours of negative habits, which is still in progress. And over time, it will increase and increase and increase and increase. And it can be left with an extra 2.5 hours or whatever of positive habits and only 30 minutes of negative habits. If you're doing an extra 2 hours or whatever on top of your already fantastic day, come on, that's incredible, bro. And at that point, this will start feeling less fun. So over time, you'll get a lot more benefit from the positive habits than the negative habits. these are going to start being more excited. Another one that I like to use is doing something that's good but a little bit more exciting. Like instead of thinking, okay, tomorrow I'll just do my leg day workout, I think, okay, I'll hit a little arm day workout as well. Or instead of thinking, I'll do some schoolwork, no, maybe I'll record some YouTube videos, maybe I'll work on that business, maybe I'll get into trading, maybe I'll do something like that. And that really helps get more work done and have you more motivated. Like before, I know that I wouldn't be able to do extra work for a few hours. No, I want to play video games for that 3 hours, like every single utilized second. And over time, you decrease it. And as you decrease it slowly, 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 it opens up more time to fill in with good stuff. Don't just leave it there because, as I said, idle hands are the devil's workshop. If you don't clearly allocate that time and have positive habits you can do, like in the sports, everything I just said, extra meditation sessions, some journaling, extra reading, speaking to your family, friends, whatever, they're just going to fill up with even more negative things because that reward that you so desperately wanted, that 30 minutes to allow yourself to play video games or watch a movie, whatever, now kind of loses its prestige because that's a goal you're working hard towards, and that is quite worthy. That you can sit down and feel proud of yourself and be more motivated that the next day you can do the same thing. Work for 10 hours, be productive for 10, 12 hours, have 30 minutes of bad time. But if you don't have a clearly allocated bad time, like for you, that may be going out on a date with some girls, or going out with like on a date with your girlfriend or something like that. Don't have that allocated like not productive time. It's just gonna end up to like sloppy negative time. Like porn, video games that you're not even having fun on, movies, like just random series you're bored of watching but you want to stimulate yourself. So make it very clear what you want to get out of it. Sure, you can have positive rewards. No, thinking to yourself, okay, I'll get myself some new boxing gloves if I do this. Or say you do like a weekly goals. I'll allow myself to invest a little bit of money into this risky thing like crypto. So it's still positive, but you have clearly goals set out for it. And finally, own your vices. This is just to reinforce the video as a whole. As I've just said, you're gonna earn your vices. So even when you have negative time, very, very, very clearly earn it. And then you can start extending this where it's not gonna be okay. Every day I'll play video games for the remaining, so for say like an hour or 30 minutes. If I do all my work, it's okay. On the weekend, I'll play for 3 hours, or I'll have this gaming session on the weekend if every single day I go to the gym for an hour and a half. And then every single day you're motivated, and like on Saturday there's a less like negative effect of playing even for the same amount of time or less, hopefully, than spreading on every single day. You can start delaying it maybe every other day. And additionally, you can start improving those vices. Okay, maybe instead of playing video games, I'll call my friend, or I'll play video games with my friend, so it's a bit more social. I'll meet up my friends and we'll play some board games, or I'll go out and I'll meet this girl, which still isn't productive, but it's a lot better than it would have been before, right? When you have a few two or three positive habits that you do for an hour a day, and then the other 12 is just wasting time. It's a lot better. It's a lot more structured. It feels so much nicer. And for anyone saying, "Oh yeah, you should cut this out too," I'm saying this for someone who wants to do this for the rest of their life. You want to be 25, 35, 45 and still be productive for 12, 14 hours a day and have that little bit of bad time if you need it. If you don't some days, fantastic. But I know it really helps me, and I think it will really help you both reduce your bad habits and increase your good ones. So I really, really hope that helps, bro. Get off YouTube, go do some work, go do some push-ups, go do some good, and I'll see you in the next video, man. Much love.